I'm making this video regarding the lawsuit that Bill Cosby has recently filed against 7 of his accusers, and in my opinion it's about damn time. All these women have been attacking Bill Cosby left and right, with Gloria Allred beating one of the leading attackers, and this woman only knows how to attack black men, period. So I'm going to play a clip from News 1 with Bill Cosby's attorney giving her commentary on what's going on, and then the 3 guest panelists that Roland Martin has.
For the last year, we have seen accusation after accusation against comedian and philanthropist Bill Cosby, accusing him of sexual assault and misconduct. The number is nearly 50 women. Well, yesterday, Bill Cosby decided to fight back, filing a lawsuit against 7 of those women for defamation of character in the state of Massachusetts. The suit is a counterclaim against Tamara Green, Therese Saranese, Linda Traits, Louisa Moritz, Barbara Bowman, Joan Tarshis, and Angela Leslie for their, quote, malicious, opportunistic, and false and defamatory accusations. Bill Cosby says these women have targeted him and that they've been trying to also extract financial considerations from him as well. Joining us right now is Bill Cosby's attorney, Monique Presley. Monique, welcome back to News 1 Now, TV 1. We've seen this for months. Why did Bill Cosby decide to file this suit now?
Well, this was actually our time to file an answer in civil litigation when all motions to dismiss have either been granted or denied, and you've gone through the initial part of the process. Then you get on a scheduling calendar and there's time for you to file an answer. When the answer is due, it's also time to file counterclaims, and if you so desire, and that's what we did yesterday, just on the regular deadline. It wasn't that we chose this point in time for any other reason.
So in terms of him going after these women, saying that they are lying, this also now opens up further depositions as well. The attorneys for women, they say, oh, we can't wait for our day in court. But for him to say that they're targeting him, preventing him, and hurting his name, how did he arrive at that conclusion?
Well, it doesn't actually open him up to further depositions, because these are 7 women who chose to come into the civil litigation process and file suit against Mr. Cosby. What they did, in essence, was create a defamation claim. They got out there, they made false accusations. When his lawyers tried to deny those accusations, they sued for the denial as if he didn't have a right to defend himself. And that's how they made
false accusations. What are you claiming to be false?
Meaning, they claimed that they were drugged. They claimed that he drugged them either with or without their knowledge, or they suspected that they were drugged, that they were sexually assaulted, that they were raped. There was any number of claims, and those claims were categorically not true. So when Mr. Cosby's lawyers came forward in an attempt to deny the claims regarding these women, they got with some lawyers who know how to work their way into a courtroom. All it takes is $75 to file a lawsuit, and they did so. But the defamation suits on their part are very weak. There are lawyers across the country who are laughing at how they could actually think that they will pass muster past the halfway point. But because they are in court, and because Mr. Cosby now has to hire lawyers of his own and defend himself, he's doing so by actually filing a proper suit against them for defaming his character, for assassinating his reputation, for doing so intentionally, with knowledge, knowing that what they were going to do was going to cost him. And so we've brought suit, and now they will have to answer for the things that they've said.
So Bill Cosby is saying that for all these women here, for all of them, he did not drug them. He did not sexually assault them. He said for each one of these particular women.
For each one of those 7 women. There are women in there who do not claim that the assault was actually sexual assault in terms of an intimate touching with fornication, but there are different varying claims among the group. Whatever it is, their claim is that claim in terms of criminal wrongdoing on the part of Mr. Cosby is false. And it's not just that it's false, Roland, it's that it was done intentionally for the purpose of ruining his reputation and extracting financial gain. People don't come into a courtroom just because they want to have something to say. They were doing that on every media station that would allow them to come in and talk. They sue in court because they're looking to get cash, and who they're looking to get it from is my client, and now he's doing something about it.
This is what Joseph Camarata says, the attorney representing 7 women. Quote, "This was expected. It's a page out of a defense lawyer's playbook. It's curious to me how there can be scores of other ladies who have come out, and yet Mr. Cosby has singled out 7 of them to bring a claim against." Why limit it with this particular suit to these 7?
Well, there are 7 women in this suit, and we sued 7. We're not limited at all. I would expect that if people stay tuned, they will see Mr. Cosby's attorneys moving forward offensively and defensively on all fronts.
So you're saying that with the number of other accusers as well, there will be more lawsuits against those women?
Any woman who's out there making false accusations against Mr. Cosby should expect that the attorneys will respond.
Also, Gloria Allred said, quote, "Bill Cosby appears to be going to war against women who have sued him in Massachusetts and who allege that he has victimized them. Such a tactic will not deter courageous women from fighting the battle against him." With her, that's what she told you today. With her saying that it was a war against women, I mean, clearly you have her making this particular claim, and folks are saying that here's Bill Cosby victimizing these women again.
Well, you know, the war wasn't waged by Mr. Cosby. Someone else started a war against him, against his reputation, against his legacy, a legacy that doesn't just belong to him, but I would argue to the African American community and to the world. So if someone starts a war and is waging it against you, it's reasonable to expect that there will be a response, and people who were doing this to him should expect response.
Clearly, when you look at Bill Cosby being considered one of the leading voices in the country, his reputation has taken a hit. Do you believe, though, that this further hurts his name by going after these women?
Oh, no, absolutely not, because he's maintained all along that he denied the allegations, and it's important to point out that Mr. Cosby has neither been charged nor convicted in a court of law, not civilly, not criminally. So this is just a next step in the process of doing what any litigant has a right to do when they're being sued, when they're being attacked, both publicly in the court of public opinion, whatever that is, that's a figment, but also in the court of law. So our first step in terms of an affirmative action, legal action for Mr. Cosby, was taking it against those who are suing him. And it's, as Mr. Camarata said, proper.
Okay, I personally appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Bill Cosby, the smartest thing that he did was to hire Monique Presley as his lead counsel, because as soon as he hired this woman, all of a sudden, a lot of the attacks started slowing down, and then came down to almost nothing other than Gloria Allred. Now, Roland is getting ready to go to his panelists, and as he goes to each one of them, you can pretty much tell the ones that are basically siding with Bill Cosby, the ones that are siding against Bill Cosby. So I'm going to continue this at this point.
So if you look at what is happening all across social media, there's been a tremendous response to this lawsuit. There have been a number of people who have been blasting Bill Cosby, saying that he is attacking these women. Yet you also have had others who are suggesting that here's Bill Cosby, quote, clapping back at these women. Others have said they're shocked that it has taken this long. They expected Bill Cosby to file a lawsuit against the accusers a long time ago, and so it has certainly generated a significant amount of attention. You might recall this really started anew when Hannibal Buress, a comedian, he actually made some comments during a routine that led to that just went instantly viral. And that took place late last year. And then all of a sudden, Barbara Bowen made her accusations, and then more media began to report on this. And so this has really been for a year a contentious issue. Let's talk about it with our panel right now. Joining me right now, far left, Lauren Victoria Burke, managing editor, Politics365.com, Paris Denard, Republican communication strategist, Cynthia Roseberry with the Colson Task Force on Federal Corrections. Folks, when you look at this counterclaim, look at this lawsuit, it is clear that Bill Cosby is saying enough is enough.
Well, it's time, as his lawyer said. He took his time and waited until the proper time to answer a claim. Rather than getting out in front of anything, he responded to the allegations against him. He has a learned counsel, and it's just the right time to say it. I think he was right to wait.
I think he's going to run into some troubles because of the court of public opinion, which his attorney says is not really real, but also the fact that on the deposition he did admit to giving women quaaludes, and so it's hard to have mount a defense against someone who's already admitted to doing something.
Well,
Now that's stupid because, yeah, he did admit to giving women quaaludes, but he gave it to them with their knowledge. And if anybody that's old enough to go back into the 60s and 70s, which I am, you know, quaaludes, especially in college, was the drug of choice, especially for women. A lot of the times they wanted you to get them some quaaludes so that they could claim plausible deniability when they woke up the next morning after jumping up and down with you all night. But, you know, this guy, I don't know where he's coming from, but let's continue.
That position you're talking about, that was out of Philadelphia, where he said he did not give it to them unknowingly. What he is saying in this particular claim that these specific 7 women, he did not do that. And so that they are alleging that it was done without their knowledge. He's saying, no, it was done with full knowledge.
I think the American people will look at this and say whether it was full knowledge or partial knowledge or no knowledge, giving women quaaludes with the intent of having sex is problematic for Mr. Cosby.
That's a bunch of crap, because if a woman asks you for something and you give it to her, there should be no issue on either side. And if you give a woman something without her knowledge, then yeah, that's going to be a problem on the other side. So I don't know where the hell this guy's coming from. He's basically, in my opinion, just saying no matter what Bill did, he shouldn't have done it and he was guilty. Where you have 2 consenting adults that agree to a certain behavior, that's between them. But let's continue.
For his case against these women.
But here's a question, though. If you're talking about in a court of public opinion, it's already there. And so, look, you've had shows taken off the air. Netflix chose not to move forward in airing his comedy special. NBC chose not to move forward with the pilot show that he was developing as well. You've had folks who have been protesting his various concerts. If you're Bill Cosby, what do you have to lose if the court of public opinion has already weighed in? You say, what the hell?
Oh, I agree. He should fight it. I mean, I think he has a right to fight it. He has a right to mount a defense. He should do so. But I'm just saying that it is greatly problematic for him based upon his statements and the breadth and the sheer numbers of these women who've made consistent claims against him.
That's untrue.
I have to question the motives of the women as well because of timing, and it does take a hit to him financially and to his character. So there's both sides to the argument.
Well, speaking of character,
when 27 women showed up on Dateline, I guess it was about a month ago, you know, that sort of, I thought there were 2 smoking guns in this situation. One was the deposition. I mean, just like Paris just said, you have an exchange in the deposition with Andrea Constant's attorney asking Mr. Cosby, did you procure quaaludes with the intent of drugging women? He answers yes. I'm not sure why the Team Cosby needed to throw a grenade back into this story, which was kind of getting quiet. Right, and now here we are with a lit gasoline can of him suing 7 people.
Well,
he's suing 7 people, and there's 40 people out there. So are the other people not involved in this?
No.
See, she didn't listen to Bill Cosby's attorney, which Roland's going to get on her about, because he's suing 7 people now that are suing him. But the attorney also stated that the other people can expect litigation against them as time goes on. But this is where Roland catches her.
You heard Monique Presley say that there are going to be other lawsuits.
So if you're innocent,
one second. What she said in this case,
shut it down, Roland.
This was a response to these 7 women. So these 7 women are suing.
Right.
This was a response to those 7.
Right.
What she said was there are going to be other lawsuits.
Well, I want to see if they're going to sue Beverly Johnson. Let's wait
I hope
and see
they
if
do
that
sue
happens.
Beverly
I think
Johnson's
one of the
lying
risks that
ass.
they run here is the risk of somebody sitting out there right now that we don't even know about. I mean, one of the big surprises for me is the number of people who have come out. And when you say financial gain, what financial gain? What financial gain? Beverly Johnson.
Oh no, what she just said with financial gain is that the women have filed a lawsuit.
Right, and they may win or they may lose.
No,
Right.
no,
And
no. What she said, no.
Break it down, Roland, break her down.
Filed a lawsuit against Bill Cosby for the purpose of winning money.
Right.
So when they say financial gain, that's what they're talking about. Gloria Allred has filed lawsuits to get money as well. So her response is, she said you don't file a lawsuit just because. If you tell your story, that's different. But filing a lawsuit means you're trying to get paid. So that's what she was referencing.
So I guess now he's trying to get paid because he's suing them for defamation. He could actually win and get paid, right?
Right. So you have right. So I mean that's what. No, but again, no. If you're here's the deal, and this is really the question. If you're Bill Cosby and your reputation is in tatters, and you've been attacked, court of public opinion, numerous stories.
Right.
Do you have anything to lose?
Well, wait a minute.
By actually filing the suit? I mean, what? So what is it? Is it more scorn?
That's exactly right. I mean, that's what he's doing, is defending. And one thing we haven't talked about is the fact that his answer to that question in the deposition was obviously truthful, but detrimental to him. I think, to his credit, he spoke the truth in that moment. And so you expect that somebody who has said, I'm not guilty of these offenses, would come forward and defend himself when the law provides
It's
that he
detrimental
would.
because it lines up with the stories of over 20 people that they were not.
Lauren Burke is not as smart as she thinks she is.
So it
doesn't line up with the story of 20 people.
That deposition in July.
No.
And this is when Roland breaks it down again.
No. The women, no. There's a factual point here that has to be made. You said corroborates. The women are accusing him of unknowingly drugging them.
He said
Bill Cosby said they knew that. So whether you disagree or not, we got to be clear with the facts. They say I didn't know. He said they did know it was consensual.
So it's an amazing coincidence that over 20 people have said that he in some way drugged them, and then during a deposition on a case, he just happens to say, "Wow, I procured Quaaludes with the intention of drugging women." And answers yes to that question.
Right.
And
see, and that's what you call conflating. And that's what a lot of people have done. Oh, it's an amazing coincidence. No, these women, in some way, shape, manner, or form, felt like they were wronged and saw an opportunity to jump on Bill Cosby and pick up some money. And because of the numbers, they all decided to get together and hide within the numbers. And this Lauren Burke is basically anti-Bill Cosby, in my opinion. Well, let's continue.
he's innocent.
Well, what's interesting to me is, first of all, the filing of this counterclaim against these 7 women, I would be very curious to see future lawsuits in terms of how that goes as well. But it is clear that the Cosby legal team has said, okay, we've been playing defense, let's go on offense. All right, Pam, hold tight 1 second. We come back.
Okay, so I'm really glad that Bill Cosby's team decided to go on offense, and based on the women not being able to prove anything, he should win. Well, once that happens, that should knock everybody else down and possibly stop these other lawsuits. So, anyway, thank you, Monique Presley, for going on the offense against all these lying women. I really want to see him go after Dickinson and Beverly Johnson, because those 2 women have been proven liars in the past, and they need to be called to light, especially Beverly Johnson. She's only pushing this because she's got a book deal going. So anyway, gonna continue to follow this as the events unfold.